In this short video, I will be discussing sweeteners. I chose this topic because I often eat snacks with sweeteners and have always heard mixed opinions about them being healthy or safe to consume. I've also heard claims that some are better than others, but I don't know why that is or if it's even true. In this video, we will cover what exactly sweeteners are, how they affect your body, and if they are a good idea to consume. Sweeteners or sugar substitutes are ingredients used to sweeten and in some cases enhance the flavor of foods. They are broadly classified into two types: natural sweeteners, which are things like honey, maple syrup, and stevia, and artificial sweeteners, which are things like aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin. These sweeteners are commonly used in processed foods, diet sodas, and sugar-free products. So what does the evidence say about sweeteners? Well, a lot of sweeteners are still under research, which is why they have remained a controversial topic for a while. But here are some important facts. Non-nutritive sweeteners have several beneficial effects, such as facilitating weight loss, although their long-term effect on weight reduction is ambivalent, diabetes management, flavor enhancement, and prevention of tooth decay. On the other hand, they may induce several side effects on human health, such as hepatotoxicity, NAFLD, metabolic disorders, and carcinogenicity. It's important to know that the results of these studies were inconsistent, like the weight loss studies or the effect of chronic use of non-nutritive sweeteners in patients with diabetes. And the inconsistent results may be attributed to many possible factors, such as increased food intake to compensate for the use of low-calorie beverages and obesity, and study design issues. There may just be a lot we don't know about non-nutritive sweeteners yet. Based on present literature and the recommendations by different pediatric societies and the European Union regulations, this is what's recommended. The daily carbohydrate consumption should be less than 10% of total caloric intake following a healthy and balanced diet. Infants less than 2 years of age should avoid the consumption of sweeteners. Children who suffer from phenylketonuria must avoid the consumption of aspartame and neotame. Children with type 1 or type 2 diabetes or obesity may benefit from the use of non-nutritive sweeteners, but always as a part of a moderate and balanced diet and healthy lifestyle. The use of non-nutritive sweeteners in children has been associated with reduced dental caries development. It is important for pediatricians and healthcare professionals to be adequately trained in the use of sweeteners, to be competent to advise parents and children on the appropriate sweetener selection based on its properties. More high-quality research is needed for the use of non-nutritive sweeteners in childhood, focusing on the appropriate age of exposure and taste preferences, neurodevelopment, and the impact on the microbiome and its association to obesity, metabolic syndrome, and diabetes. Overall, artificial sweeteners clearly have pros and cons, but what about natural sweeteners? Are they any better than sugar? The answer is generally yes. Natural sweeteners are considered healthier than conventional sugar because the sweeteners usually contain more vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and other bioactive molecules that may be healthful. They should still be consumed in moderation though, and it's important to note that not all natural sweeteners are safe alternatives for people with diabetes. For example, while agave has a low glycemic index, it has more calories than granulated sugar and a higher fructose content. Fructose can cause the body to produce less insulin and put more strain on the liver as it breaks down the sugars. 4 safe sugar substitutes for diabetics are monk fruit extract, stevia, erythritol, and even fresh fruit. With this information, I think we should consider our individual situations and choose what sweeteners we consume based on it. I say read nutrition labels on not just sugar-free stuff, but also processed things too to see what's in it. Since there's so much not known about artificial sweeteners, it may be better to just avoid them and eat more whole foods. Of course, that might not be realistic for everyone, but reducing your intake of them could be a good first step. As a community, I think we need to offer more whole foods in schools and workplaces, and researchers need to find conclusive results. I asked ChatGPT about my topic, and it said that natural sweeteners come from plant sources and that they contain some nutrients but can still raise blood sugar levels, while artificial sweeteners are chemically created to provide sweetness with little to no calories. ChatGPT said natural sweeteners are generally safe in moderation, but they still contribute to sugar intake and can impact blood sugar. It said artificial sweeteners are approved by the FDA, but long-term effects are debated, and that some studies suggest potential risks like gut microbiome disruption, increased cravings, or metabolic effects, but evidence is mixed. ChatGPT said natural sweeteners, while more natural, they still contain sugars that contribute to weight gain and diabetes if overconsumed. And for artificial sweeteners, that they can reduce calorie intake, but may have unintended effects such as altering taste perception or increasing appetite. For effects on the body, ChatGPT said natural sweeteners, except for stevia, raise blood sugar, while artificial ones typically do not. Artificial sweeteners may alter gut bacteria, which can affect metabolism. Some artificial sweeteners may trigger cravings for sweets, leading to overeating, and that some research suggests artificial sweeteners may confuse the body's response to sugar, affecting insulin sensitivity. One way I think we can use ChatGPT to assist us in this topic is to ask it for products that have specific sweeteners based on what we value. value. So if I'm worried about the potential long-term effects of artificial sweeteners, but I still want a sweetener that doesn't raise my blood sugar, I could ask it for, let's say, stevia, and then it would bring out a bunch of snacks that I could potentially eat. So then I could actually look up these products and see if they do have only stevia in them, or if it maybe made a mistake. Overall, I think my findings and ChatGPT's findings were pretty similar. I will still have them sometimes, but I do think I'm going to have artificial sweeteners less just because there's so much not known about them.